So into the arena is Armenia's Vakhtang Harutyunyan, 25 years of age. He's the man from Banadzor in Armenia. Experienced professional, bringing 5 fights of experience into the boxing ring. Lost last time out in February of last year, but 4 wins prior to that, all of them coming inside the distance. Competed at the 2025 IBA World Championships in Dubai, losing in the round of 16 to number 16.
Палач. Встречайте, Nikita, the Executioner Kuzmin.
Well, behind that mask is Nikita Kuzmin, nicknamed the Executioner. Undefeated in the professional ranks, 7 wins out of 7, with 3 of them coming inside the distance. His last fight in the pro ring coming in June of 2025. Fought on IBA.PRO 10 right here in St. Petersburg in October of last year, and produced a great dominant display where he controlled the distance.
Представляю вам соперников и первого боксера в черном углу. Ему 25 лет, рост 182 сантиметра, вес 74,6 килограмма. Профессиональный рекорд 4 победы и только 1 поражение. Все победы одержаны нокаутом. Призер чемпионата Европы среди боксеров 18-22 года, представляющий Банadzor, Армения. Фото Vakhtang Harutyunyan. А вот и его соперник в золотом углу. Боксеру 29 лет, его рост 180 сантиметров, вес 74 килограмма ровно. Его прекрасный профессиональный рекорд 7 побед, включая 3 победы нокаутом и ни единого поражения. Дамы и господа, он призер чемпионата России, чемпион России среди вооруженных сил Российской Федерации и 4-кратный чемпион Санкт-Петербурга. Дамы и господа, из города на Неве, Россия, не знающий поражений, Nikita, the Executioner Kuzmin.
Удачи. Стоп. Голову выше, ниже пояса, не бить, не держать. Слушайте, выполнять команду. Удачи.
So a quick look at the tail of the tape between these 2 boxers. We are underway. Contest scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. 2 boxers from Russia and Armenia. The southpaw wearing the white trimmed with red and grey. Nikita Kuzmin, 29 years of age, from right here in St. Petersburg. The shot that he's been using is a really prominent one in his armory. That southpaw stabbing right jab to the body. And tucking up behind high-held gloves, Vakhtang Harutyunyan, 25 years of age, from Armenia. Harutyunyan, again, losing to the number 6 seed in recent IBA World Championships in Dubai, as he scores with a nice counter left jab in response to the southpaw right thrusted out by Nikita Kuzmin. Started Erkan Boas, who got the better of Harutyunyan in the round of 16. So back here competing as a professional. Took not too far away from Kuzmin. Right hand turned underneath in response from Harutyunyan. Double jab, right cross. Backs up Kuzmin, but then Kuzmin walks his way back into the breach and scores effectively, ending his combination with a left hook to the body out of that southpaw stance. There's another stab jab downstairs from Kuzmin.
Vakhtang, не держим, не держим. Не держим, Vakhtang. Брык!
So thought about letting the right hand go. Did Harutyunyan, but didn't commit to the shot. Some running repairs required to the bootstraps of Kuzmin. Kuzmin, such a composed operator, always seeking to get over that front foot, apply pressure. Here he takes a flicking jab just above the belt line from Harutyunyan. Kuzmin continuing to work the body effectively with a good variety of punches. Big swing and a miss with the lead left hook from Harutyunyan, first round in the book. Some of the action from the opening round.
Тайм. В угол. Вахтанг, не держи. Бокс.
So moving to round number 2. Kuzmin looking to pick up the pace at the start of this second session, but he's met by a flailing combination from Harutyunyan. Both men fighting for that prime piece of real estate at center ring.
Никит, не держим, Никит.
Counter left hook was the final shot of the exchange from Harutyunyan, then a right cross to the body.
Stop!
Clear case of hitting on the break from Sergei Kuzmin, from Nikita Kuzmin.
Не разговаривай. Бокс.
Thankfully no harm done, and the action resumes after that brief touch of gloves. Activity and accuracy on the resumption from Kuzmin.
Не держим. Никит, не держим. Брик!
Now Kuzmin adopting the half cover guard. Walked into a shot that threatened to strain to rabbit punch territory from Harutyunyan. Double left hook attempted from Harutyunyan before bringing the right cross into play, but nice movement in the pockets behind that half cover guard from Kuzmin.
Никита, руки не
Keep his
просовывай.
head out of harm's way. Two men just circling one another atop the logo at center ring. There's a beautiful bolo shot whipped into the body from Harutyunyan. Getting to work behind a flicking left jab. The flailing right cross which followed was inaccurate. But just his activity can sometimes be enough to prevent Kuzmin from continuing to apply pressure. But out of that half cover guard, Kuzmin was effective before tucking up like a turtle behind high-held gloves and forearms. Good left cross to the body from Kuzmin. Nice counter right hand to the body once again. Kuzmin saying that the shot was low. That's what the third man in the ring is there for, to be the arbiter of such things. Nice cluster of punches ending with that left hook to the body from Kuzmin. Harutyunyan breathing through a mouth that's open. His punches have had this flailing quality right from the opening bell. This is how he goes about his craft. He goes for three-round and professional format, and such was his momentum on that shot that it caused him to pirouette. He was inaccurate with the punch that he launched.
Подержи вот здесь на груди. Да, все правильно. Пока пальцы. Ну ты видишь все. Ты вот затронул себя на каждый.
Well, changing approach from Harutyunyan during the course of that round. He appeared to be far more keen to hold his feet and not retreat and be backed up to the ropes. Still, wide variety being demonstrated by Nikita Kuzmin during the course of that second round.
Time. Box.
So we're moving to round number 3. Nikita Kuzmin, probably the busier of the two boxers, but Harutyunyan very much in this as he looks for a counter bolo shot to the body once again with that backhand, and he's used that punch effectively. Kuzmin scores with an authoritative right jab where he pushed off the back foot, but then sneaking in these whipping punches from unexpected angles out of his orthodox stance is Harutyunyan. Very difficult to prepare for an opponent who goes about his craft in this type of manner. Now just checking his right eyebrow is Harutyunyan. Maybe sustained a cut. Seeking to get forwards. Two men stepping on the feet of one another. Often happens in a clash between orthodox and southpaw boxers. And there is indeed a cut to the right eye of Harutyunyan. Having to deal with that adversity now. No indication from the referee, Sergei Zhurkin, as to whether it was caused by a cut, but my instinct is that it was caused by an accidental clash of heads. So, if we can keep an eye on the referee, and that is a significant injury as well. So the doctor, expecting that injury, determined. Well, the universal utterance. If you're a fan of the sweet science, boxing can continue. Will that increase the urgency in the work of Vakhtang Harutyunyan, having sustained that cut here in round number 3? And that has encouraged Kuzmin, because he knows that his opponent has got not only Kuzmin to deal with, but also the adversity and inconvenience of that significant injury. And judging by where that cut appears to be, it could well render him an unsighted boxer from that flank. Just make it back to his own black corner so that it can be treated in between rounds, but Kuzmin keen to continue to apply the pressure. Nice right cross landed by Harutyunyan, but the doctor is going to have to be called upon once again because the flow of blood hasn't abated despite the doctor's intervention last time. Adrenaline solution, 1 in 1,000, that's permitted to be used in the corner. Good to try to staunch the flow of blood. Again, Kuzmin immediately onto the front foot, looking to score to the body. Harutyunyan looking to counter with his own backhand against the advancing southpaw, bringing the left hook into play. Kuzmin made to miss with the chopping overhand left, and now real problems here for Harutyunyan because he was complaining that he was hit below the belt shot appeared to be around the belt line. He visibly backed off. He pointed downstairs to the referee. Now he's mugging and posturing, just perhaps trying to buy some time, but the sound of the bell coming not a moment too soon from Harutyunyan's perspective, because now the corner will have to get to work furiously on that cut right eye that was sustained by a clash of heads in the third round. Well, that was where the clash of heads occurred. Now watch the right glove. We didn't see in the replay, but that's where the clash of heads occurred, and immediately he reached for his right eye. Did Harutyunyan. Boxers instinctively know when they sustained an injury, and then you would have felt that sensation on his face of the blood trickling down. This is where he was mugging and posturing just to try and keep Nikita Kuzmin off him as we move into the second half of the contest.
Box.
3 rounds completed, a potential 3 rounds remain in this contest between Nikita Kuzmin and Vakhtang Harutyunyan. Be competitive, for what it's worth, I have to think that it's Kuzmin who is doing the better work. Clean up, not just from an aesthetic point of view or a preference point of view. I think he's landed the greater number of scoring punches as well. Harutyunyan has had successes, but you see he's launching that speculative left hook from around his belt line. That's the manner in which he goes about his craft. And he competed in the 2022 European Championships for the under-22 category. There he lands a launching right cross from around his kneecap from practically the other side of the ring, and then countering with a right uppercut and left hook, his loose limb style against the compact front foot pressure of the southpaw from St. Petersburg, Nikita Kuzmin. Again, just beginning to find his flow. And if you are a boxer like Nikita Kuzmin, who is raised on the tenets of the coaching manual, hands held high, bobbing and moving. There he's adopting the half cover guard. Beautiful burst of punches to the body before coming upstairs to end the combination with a right hook. And even though I suggest that he is very much an aficionado of the textbook approach to boxing, you see him in training, he actually has some pretty unconventional methods. Likes to train blindfolded on the double end bag or the speed ball, just in a bid to feel the rhythm, feel the distance when working with those tools that sharpen speed and reflex and rhythm in the gym. Here he's bobbing and weaving, trying to tuck his chin behind his shoulder out of that Philly shell defense. Rendered the punches of Harutyunyan inaccurate. Harutyunyan deserves credit for the manner in which he's competing here. Has had some pot shot successes of his own. Walking forward, trying to slip and slide to take something off the punches before coming back with more shots from unorthodox, unexpected angles out of his conventional stance. Good work to both body and head from Kuzmin once again. Harutyunyan just trying to free his hands and launch a speculative left on the disengagement. So some of the action from round number 4. Kuzmin to score with that scything hook. Some of the smashing punches flung in the direction of Kuzmin, and that was a wonderful two-shot combination, ended by that right cross. The chopping southpaw left hook landed on the inside from Kuzmin.
Раунд номер 5.
Both boxers answer the bell to begin round number 5. Corner have done a good job stemming the flow of blood after Vakhtang Harutyunyan sustained a cut right eye after a clash of heads in round number 3. Kuzmin continuing to keep his shape very effectively indeed in the face of this unconventional approach to the noble art being exhibited by Harutyunyan. And again, this is how he goes about his craft, how he's most comfortable. Sometimes boxers who operate in this fashion, stating it's binary, to suggest it's binary would be overstating it, but when it comes off, when it works, it can be incredibly eye-catching and indeed effective, but when it's inaccurate, it can leave them looking rather crude at times. The lead left hook was off the mark. There's a scoring left jab from Harutyunyan, and then a corkscrew left hand which snaps Kuzmin's head back. He keeps his composure, spins counterclockwise to his right, and ends his two-shot combination with a good right hand to the body.
Никита, не держим, не держим. Брик!
Physical on the inside, and the heads rubbing together vigorously at close range. Good work to both body and head from Kuzmin as Harutyunyan spoken to about his responsibility to keep his head up. Nice left hand from Harutyunyan, celebrated by a cheeky poke out of his tongue. Nice left hand from Harutyunyan, followed by a stiff right cross. Kuzmin keeping his composure before coming back with two withering body shots that have really hurt Harutyunyan. He's trying his best to slip and slide, but you see where his arms were. They were protecting his torso. For all it was worth, after absorbing that two-shot body attack, and I don't think he's recovered from this yet. Rooted to the canvas, gamely trying to fight his way off the ropes. But the body shot combination appeared to really make life uncomfortable for Harutyunyan. Clamped his forearms around his abdomen, just thought to bob and weave away from the incoming fire from Kuzmin. Looking for angles for his punches is Kuzmin. Disengaging is Harutyunyan, playing possum in the corner. Fires a right hand, first a bolo shot, uppercut, and then a right cross. Knowing that the 10-second clapper has sounded, Kuzmin electing to turn his back before the bell to conclude round number 5 and make his way back across the ring to his own gold corner. Very good round indeed produced by Nikita Kuzmin. The real discomfort endured by Harutyunyan after absorbing those body shots. Heads coming together again. It's been a real issue in this contest between Orthodox and Southpaw. Both men coming in with their head down, and there was the body attack, and then look at the response it brought about from Harutyunyan. Covering his torso with his gloves and forearm, and then looking to slip and slide away from the incoming fire, but not for anything did he pick up his hands in a bid to protect his head, leave his vulnerable body open to further punishment. So into the 6th and final round then. Surely Nikita Kuzmin leading by a considerable distance on the scorecard. Casually going to require a stoppage victory. There he's digging in a right hand, first body, then head, following it up with a two-shot combination upstairs. The punches that were altogether straighter. Credit to Harutyunyan, fighting and competing in a manner that he's demonstrating here, because he was really hurt downstairs to the body. Three-shot combination, left, right, left. And most of the punches just a little inaccurate, not landing with full purchase. But again, knows that he needs a massive round here, and he's going in search of it. For that, he deserves immense credit, because his competitive desire hasn't dimmed in any way, shape or form, despite being hurt in the 5th round to the body, and probably, at least from my perspective, having been outboxed for the majority of this contest. But he's still in there, letting Kuzmin know that he is in a fight. Kuzmin hasn't had it all his own way. It's been a physical contest with the heads between the southpaw and orthodox boxer have clashed on repeated occasions. One of those clashes resulting in a significant cut to the right eye of Harutyunyan in the 3rd round. Harutyunyan to keep his wits about him and continue to box in a confined position near the ropes. Blistering forward march once again from Kuzmin, pushed over to the canvas by Harutyunyan. Harutyunyan trying to protect that body. Kuzmin perhaps sensing a vulnerability when he works away downstairs, coming from the man from Armenia. So he's going in search of it once again. But credit to Harutyunyan. Beautiful pot shot right cross scored by him. But the greater volume, the greater variety demonstrated by Nikita Kuzmin. Unable to get a stoppage victory on this occasion, but a very commanding victory will have no doubt been earned by Nikita Kuzmin in front of his adoring home fans here in St. Petersburg. The man from right here in Russia's cultural capital, producing a very good display indeed. Kuzmin massive are in the house. I think just a few moments' time, their man is going to be declared as a unanimous point decision victor. First time we've heard the final bell here at IBA.PRO 15. The preceding 5 contests all ended inside the distance, but that is testament to this man's toughness. Vakhtang Harutyunyan, during some really difficult moments, particularly in round number 5 when he was hurt to the body, sustained a significant cut to his right eye after a clash of heads in round number 3. Doctor signaled that he was okay to continue. The corner did a very good job indeed in staunching the flow of blood and ensuring that it didn't impair his vision or his ability to compete in rounds 4, 5 and 6. Nikita Kuzmin, another point victory here in his hometown. So nice to see that sportsmanship between the two boxers. So with Kuzmin finally freeing himself from his gloves, now get the official verdict at the conclusion of that contest.
Итак, дамы и господа, по завершении 6-раундового боя единогласным решением судей одержал победу и остается не знающим поражений Никита Палач Кузьмин! Санкт-Петербург, Россия.
So the executioner, Nikita Kuzmin, a unanimous point decision victor over Vakhtang Harutyunyan, man from Armenia, putting forth a spirited effort with his loose-limbed, free-flowing offense, but without work for the majority of the contest. but showed real toughness to stay in there and continue to compete in the manner that he did. Sustaining that cut right eye in the third, visibly hurt downstairs in the fifth. It was anything but a survival mission. He really did go for it. He did beat the man in the mask. Kuzmin, the executioner, boxing his way to unanimous point decision victor here at the KSK Arena in his home city.